Today, we are going to discuss which are the best players to claim or buy from the Team of the Season event in League 1, Premier League, and Bundesliga chapters. Many of y'all might have packed these players. Y'all might be wondering if y'all should use them in your squad or exchange it for shards. Don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe if you're interested in FC Mobile related content.
Yeah, boy.
Here, I have created a list. The best players, in my opinion, would be on the left and descending towards the right for each of these three categories. So in this list, there are three categories. Buy or claim are the best players that you can choose to buy and claim. The players in the keep category are the ones you must have packed and are thinking if you want to keep or use it for shards. Depending upon your OVR and the requirement of the team, you can either keep them or use it for shards. The third avoid category is the one which you should avoid claiming, and if you have packed it, you should use it in shards. Even if you are relatively new to the game, try claiming a higher OVR player, which will last you for a longer time than claiming a lower OVR player, which you will have to replace sooner. Would highly advise you to wait towards the end of the event before you claim the player due to multiple reasons. One being you could pack the same players, and other being there could be better players in the coming weeks. The other thing, you could plan better. So for example, if there are better options available in the same position in other rewards like the league rewards, you can make a thoughtful decision. Also, you could use those shards on another player. Let's start with the League 1 players. The first player that we are going to discuss is Henry at 1500 shards. One of the best left wing options in the game at the moment. He's really quick in the game with amazing dribbling and shooting, which reflects in his stats. Pace, shooting, and dribbling, all three are really high. A 6'2" height with a decent physicality allows him to keep the ball and not lose it very easily to the defenders of the opponent team. He does have the 4-star weak foot, but he shoots well with either foot. A 4.5-star stamina, which is really good, and a 4-star skill move. He really dominates in the game at the moment. His alternate position is striker, and he plays really well there as well. With that pace, it's easily possible to run through the defenders. Let's look at the detail attributes. Look at the high acceleration and pace to get past the defenders quite easily, and really high dribbling and ball control, which helps in the dribbling. His finishing is really high and it completely reflects in the game. Moving to the traits, he has some of the best traits. The finesse shot, long shot taker, and flair, with roulette being his assigned skill move. Having a high medium attack work rate is also very helpful. So if you want a left winger, definitely go with him. But wait for all cards to release, also to test your pack luck if you pack a left winger. So Henry would be in the buy tier list. Moving to the next player, Thuram at 1250 shards. Brilliant pace and defending stats, which clearly reflects in the game. The 6 feet height and a high physicality helps him to win the ball easily from the attackers. His stamina lasts throughout the game, and his secondary position is centre back. He plays equally well on both these positions. So if you want to pair him with a relatively slower defender in the centre-back position, you can do that as well. He has a low attacking work rate and a high defensive work rate, which is very good for a right back, or even if you play it as a centre-back position. He has very good positioning. He does make the forward runs, but due to his pace being really high, can manually make him fall back, depending upon the situation. Looking at the detail attributes, really good defensive stats, which help him overpower the attackers in the game. He's one of the quickest defenders in the game, and the combo of pace, defense, and physicality makes him one of the best right back. At 1250 shards, I think he's a little higher priced, but he's definitely the best right back you can buy or claim at the moment. So he would be in the buy claim category. Moving on to the next player, BASTEN at 1250 shards. One of the best shooting stats which reflect in the game. A 5-star weak foot is really helpful. With his physicality and height, he does not lose the ball easily. Initially, he seemed a lot heavier, but he has improved a lot recently and has become quite smooth to use. 4.5-star stamina and 4-star skill moves with Roulette as his assigned skill move. He has a finesse shot trait, which is also very helpful. Even though he has a medium attack and low defense work rate, his positioning is really good, and his previous cards also had a medium attack work rate, so do not worry about that. Moving to the attributes, really high finishing and positioning stats, with really high pace as well, which makes him a really good striker, when BASTEN would be in the buy tier list. And before Thuram, in my opinion. Moving to the next player, Donnarumma at 1000 shards. He has good stats throughout, but the thing is, I did not find much difference in him and the 107 keepers. He has one of the best stats in the goalkeeping position right now, but he needs a buff in performance and improve, so wait for it. Also, there is Neuer in the exchange, whose performance seems slightly better than him. Yet, looking at the options, he will be in the buy tier list, but lower down the order. Moving to the next player, OWAIRAN at 800 shards. Very high pace and good dribbling shooting skills. Despite having a high pace, what I've noticed is the defenders catch up with him quite easily. So yes, the pace is 131, but doesn't reflect completely in the game. But he is still one of the better options to claim. He has RM as his alternate position. So if you're looking for an RM position player, he could play well there. He has a good 4.5 star stamina and 4-star skill moves, and has a long shot taker trait, high attack work rate. The highlight of this card is his pace. While dribbling, what I noticed is he doesn't keep the ball close to his body, due to which he tends to lose the ball. I do feel there will be better right wingers in the upcoming weeks, and thus OWAIRAN will be in our keep tier list. So if you've packed him, you can keep and use him. But if you want to claim, wait for a better right winger. You could buy him temporarily if you have a really old right winger who's not working well at the moment. Moving to the next player, Dembele at 800 shards. The main highlight of the card is the 5-star weak foot. He also has good pace and dribbling, just like OWAIRAN. But among the two, I still like OWAIRAN better to use. He also lacks a little bit of stamina compared to him, and you will have to make an earlier substitution. But if you're looking for a stronger weak foot shooting, his right foot shooting is definitely better than OWAIRAN. He has striker and cam as an alternate position. He plays equally well as striker as well, and you could play him at cam. But he does not have the right mid position if you're looking for that. He has a flare trait and roulette as his assigned skill move, and a high medium work rate. Again, I wouldn't advise you all to claim him currently, as there would be better right wingers. Also, it's better to get 109s at the moment when you're spending 800 shards. Thus, Dembele would also be in the keep category, but below OWAIRAN. Moving to the next player, Gerrard at 650 shards. His stats are decent throughout, and he's quite effective in the game, in attack as well as defense. He's a more box-to-box kind of a player with good traits of playmaking, long shot, and passing. He has a 4-star weak foot and a 6 feet height with a good physicality, helps him keep the ball. He can also play cam and CDM positions. Rather than claiming him, you could get a KDB from the exchange section if you have older event players. But for 650 shards, he's quite worth it. But you should look at getting a higher OBR player. So if you have packed him, you can keep him. So Gerrard will go in the keep category. Moving to the next player, Neves at 500 shards. 5'9" with good physicality, is quite effective in the game, but rather than going for him, Ramirez, who's a better option for just 150 shards more. But if you'll have packed him, use him, because he is quite effective in winning the ball. Though he has a medium work rate, he maintains his defensive positions. If you packed him and need a CDM, you can keep him. So don't use him for shards and then claim Ramirez. That would be a waste of shards. But there would be better CDM options. So he would be in the keep category. Moving to the next player, Vitina at 450 shards. Stats are pretty average, but the drawback is a 3-star weak foot and 3-star skill move, which creates issues as a CM, due to which he tends to miss a few shots. And you can't perform the 4-star skill moves. In game, he's pretty average. He does win the ball, so you can play him at his alternate CDM position. He has a finesse shot trait, playmaker, and a long shot taker trait, and a high attack defense work rate, so he could play box to box for you. If you're new to the game, you may use him. Otherwise, he's in the avoid category for me. And especially weak foot and skill moves does matter for the CM. Let's move to the next player, Marquinhos, at 450 shards. He does have good defending stats and a good physicality with a 6 feet height, but his card is average on the whole. There is nothing great about the card. He does have the power header trait and a high defensive work rate. Only if you're new to the game and you pack him, you can use him. For most people, he should be avoided. And thus, he's in the avoid category. And if you pack him, you should shard him off. There are other better options, which we will be covering in this video as well. So if not him, who should you claim? We will see further in the video. Moving to the next player, Shevchenko at 300 shards. He has a good pace and shooting, 4.5 star stamina, 4 star skill moves, finesse shot and long shot trigger trait with a high attack and medium defensive work rate. He runs well if you use a step over and an exit, but I would suggest you to claim Muller from the League rewards, who is better than Shevchenko, and a 108 as well. He would also be in the avoid category. But if you're new and you cannot claim Muller, then you could use him if you've packed him. But don't claim him yet, because there would be better strikers in similar budget in the coming weeks. Moving to the next player, Rabiot at 300 shards. He has decent stats throughout. But again, he has a 3 star weak foot and a 3 star skill move, which isn't ideal. He does win the ball quite comfortably and has a decent attacking position as well. You could play him on a CDM position because his height and physicality is quite good as a CDM, which helps him to win the ball quite comfortably. But only if you're new to the game. If you've been playing it for some time, you should avoid it. And thus, he would be in the avoid category. Moving on to the next player, Barcola at 300 shards. Really good pace and dribbling and feels quite smooth in the game. 4 star stamina and 4 star skill moves, so you will have to replace him later on in the game. He has an alternate right wing position, but because his right foot is stronger, you should try and play him on the left wing only. He has a finish shot and a flare trait, which helps in precise shooting and performing skills. High and medium attack work rate is also good, but 106 OVR is quite low at the moment, and one should focus on getting a higher OVR cards. So for the most of us, you would be in the avoid category, because there are better players also with better gameplay on the left wing positions. Especially if you have the past 106 and 107s, or even the 105s like Ginola, they are better options. Moving to the next player, Højbjerg at 200 shards. He's actually quite good in the CDM position. If you're looking for a low budget CDM, you can get him, or if you're relatively new to the game, you can claim him as well. But there are better CDM options for the majority of the people. A 106 would be a lower OVR considering the stage of the game. The 114 physicality with a 6'2 height and a 111 defending makes him very good in winning the ball. So he does overpower the attackers and wins the ball quite comfortably. He has a high attack defense work rate, so he's one of a box-to-box kind of a CDM. He would be in the avoid category, but higher up the order. For those who wish to use him and are relatively new to the game, could use him. Moving to the next player, Akliush at 200 shards. 3 star weak foot, 3 star skill move. Is straight up avoid for a right winger at this stage of the game, especially when you have such good right wing options in the game. He has an alternate cam position and a playmaker trait. The pace and dribbling of this card is quite good, but there are better options with a better weak foot and skill moves, so he would be in the avoid category. Moving to the next player, Shirky at 200 shards. He has good dribbling stats and a 5 star weak foot, 4 star stamina and 5 star skill moves, which makes him quite a good card for someone who's starting, but the 106 OVR is quite low at the moment. There would be better higher OVR cams released in the further weeks. Temporarily, if you want to use him, you can use him, or if you are new to the game, you can use him. He does have good traits like flair, playmaker, and a high attack and a low defensive work rate, so he stays up the field. He would be in the avoid category, but higher up than the list. Moving to the last player from League 1, David at 200 shards. He's another good option for relatively newer players with a 5-star weak foot, 120 pace, and good shooting stats. His skill moves is a problem, so y'all won't be able to do lane change and other skill moves. But because of his pace, y'all could use step over and exit, which is quite effective. He has a high attack and a high defense work rate. He too would be in the avoid category for most of us at this point of the game, but higher up the list. So if the newer players want to claim, they could, but majority should use him for shards or avoid to claim him. Before we move to the next league, I'll just rearrange this tier list. Barcola will be the first option. So the preference of the players should be from the left to right, depending on the requirement of your team for all these categories. So in League 1, the best option to claim would be Henry, followed by the other options. And of course, if you pack them, you keep them. In the next category, you should definitely keep the ones on the left. And according to the team, you can decide for the rest. Similarly, if you're new to the game, you would be picking up lower OVR players. So this list would help you all as well. But first, you all should try and claim the higher OVRs. And that too, towards the end of the event. Moving to the Premier League, the first player is Ruud Gullit at 1500 shards. Goes without saying, he's totally worth the shards and one of the best players you could claim from the event. Though his performance does not seem up to the mark yet, but would likely altered and get buffed. Having a 5-star weak foot, an amazing 121 pace, 5-star stamina and a 6'3" height with 113 physical. Though he has a high attack work rate and a medium defensive work rate, he does play as a box-to-box centre mid and performs well both in attack and defense. Currently, he does not feel as smooth in performing skill moves, which could improve. If you are looking for a cheaper alternative for him to buy, Zidane is a really good option at the moment, who is better than the other CMs. He has 3 alternate position, cam, CDM and striker, and as usual he performs good on all 3 of them. So according to your playstyle, you could play him in either of the positions, but CM is the most suitable for him. Earlier, his cards were really tough to get. Now with the shard system, one could quite comfortably claim him and he should be in the top priority. Thus, Gullit is in our buy tier list and at the top. Moving to the next player, Jorginho at 1250 shards. Superb pace and dribbling along with good shooting, which is quite reflective in the game. 4.5-star stamina and a 5-star skill moves is also great. The couple of drawbacks of this card is the 4-star weak foot, and that too particularly being a left foot. At the moment, he does tend to shoot almost all the shots, but during a longer period of time, as per the past experience, a 4-star weak foot player does tend to miss more shots, and you do need a left foot to be stronger foot for a right winger. Also the 5'8" height with a 94 physical, but he does run through the defenses quite comfortably. So if you don't have a problem with a weak foot, you all could go with him, but there would be better right wingers in the future, so you all could wait for them as well. High attack and a high defense work rate. His positioning is quite good in the game, so that's not a worry, and has a flare and outfoot shot trait. Look at that high pace, acceleration and high dribbling attributes, along with ball control, which makes it very easy to control him. I do expect a better right winger, especially at 1250 shards, and thus will be in the keep category. I think I'll prefer the left-footed right wingers above him. But of course, if you pack any of these 3, you keep them and you use them. If you want to claim, you will claim an OWAIRAN. Moving to the next player. Next is David Beckham at 1000 shards. Good passing and dribbling stats and decent all-round stats. He can play at CM, which I think is a more suitable role for him considering his pace. A 4-star weak foot, and that to a left one, is not ideal for a right mid. You should look at a 5-star left foot. And 1000 shards for a right mid is on the higher side. To buy, you could look at Olise, who's a better option with 5-star weak foot as well, and a left foot being stronger. Or wait for other cards to release. Maybe there could be a better right mid. He does have very good traits: the finesse shot, playmaker, long passer, long shot taker, high attack and medium defense work rate. He would be in the keep category. For those who have a right mid position in their squad, could get him. For OVR, you could look at the position of right mid or could use a right winger. Moving to the next player, Salah at 1000 shards. Very good pace, dribbling and shooting with 5.5-star stamina and 4-star skill moves, which is good. In my opinion, what I noticed with this card, it is not as good as his previous versions compared to the other options available right now. Maybe his next card in the same event would be much better. What I noticed is he couldn't get past of the defenders quite comfortably and even lacked the physicality. He could get buffed and improve, but right now he's in what his cards generally are. He does have the finish shot trait and an outside foot shot trait, high attack and medium defense work rates, good dribbling and finishing. He would be in the keep tier list. So if you pack him, you could use him. But to claim, I think there would be better options available in the coming days. Moving to the next player. Isak at 1000 shards. The 6'4" height and a 5-star weak foot with very high pace and shooting along with dribbling is the highlight of this card. He runs very well through the defenses and you could easily perform a skill stun and get past the defense. Due to the 4-star stamina, he does need a substitute early on in the second half, has a 4-star skill move, finish shot and flare traits, having a high attack work rate and a medium defense work rate, which is quite good. For very high sprint speed and finishing and the ball control, due to which he does not lose the ball. Even his physicality and a 6'4" height help in the same. Isak will be in the buy category, probably after Thuram. If you want to claim a striker, you should probably wait for the final stages of the event. There could be better striker options, but I still prefer to claim a BASTEN over an Isak. Moving to the next player, Dalglish at 650 shards. 5-star weak foot, along with good shooting, pace and dribbling, with a 5'8" height along with the physicality, due to which he tends to lose the ball. And Muller being free claimable from the league rewards, if you have enough tokens, is an equal, if not a better choice. So you could save your 650 shards and use it on another player. He does have the finish shot, long shot taker traits, flare trait, and does take very good long shots. Has a high attack and a medium defense work rate. If you've packed him, you can keep him. But to claim, I think you should go for the better options available. Or you should go for Muller from the league rewards. The only con of Muller would be the weak foot. Otherwise, these cards are quite similar. He would be in the keep tier list, maybe lower down the order, because there are better striker options available. Moving to the next player, Ramirez at 650 shards. He's a very good CDM option to claim, having 121 defending and 115 physicality along with a 5'10" height. Does have decent pace and dribbling as well, and a 5-star stamina, which could last him throughout the game. Has a high attack and a high defense work rate, so he does go a little forward and is box to box. He has a 3-star weak foot, so if you use your CDM in the attack, the shooting is a bit of a problem. As you can see, they're very good awareness and tackling stats along with marking. He's one of the better CDM options right now, but there would be better options in the future. But if you pack him, you can keep him. So he would be in the keep tier, probably somewhere here. Moving to the next player, Diaz at 650 shards. One of the best options to claim at this shards cost point. Very good pace and dribbling, and in the game he runs through the defenses quite comfortably. All his cards are really good and could be usable for a long period of time. 4.5-star stamina, 4-star skill move. His physicality and height is also quite decent, due to which he does not lose the ball quite easily. He has the flare and a long shot taker trait, along with high attack and a medium defense work rate, which is quite good. Very agile card, and you can see the stats for the same. He can easily match one of the 109s in terms of performance, but he's quite value for shards. He would definitely be in the buy tier list, and the left wing position is quite important in the game. Moving to the next player. Next is VVD at 800 shards. Very good defending, physicality and height. He is quite effective in the game currently, but what I have noticed is, in short spans of times, his cards get very inconsistent. So if you've packed him, you can keep him. But remember, he won't last you very long. So he will be in a keep tier list somewhere around here. Moving to the next player, Saliba at 600 shards. Again, very good defending and physicality stats along with a 6'4" height and a 4-star stamina. Does not have the power hitter trait, but does tend to head well. In game, he does feel more agile than VVD and does run back if required. You can manually make him fall back if required, but there would be better centre-back options in the upcoming weeks. But if you want at this price point, he is a good option. He would be in the keep tier list above VVD. Moving to the next player, Rice at 450 shards. He has good defending and physicality stats along with the 6'1" height, which is good for a CDM, 5-star stamina, which lasts him throughout the match. He has good traits like long passer and long shot taker, and a high defensive work rate and a medium attack work rate. But he does go back in front, and the 4-star weak foot helps him in the attack. He has good tackling and awareness traits, so if you pack him, you can use him and keep him. But 107 OVR again is quite low compared to the stage of the game. But if you're relatively new to the game, he is a good option at 450 shards. He will be in a keep tier list over here, considering everything, positions, and the better options available. Moving to the next player, Trent Alexander-Arnold at 450 shards. A good low-budget right-back option with good passing and defense stats, along with dribbling and pace. He does have high attack and a medium defense work rate, but does maintain his defensive positions. As a defender, he does have very good traits like the long passer, long shot taker, and a playmaker, and has a 4-star weak foot, which very few wingbacks have. Does help if you have to shoot in an attacking position across modes. He would be in the keep tier list. If you've packed him, you can use him. But to claim, aim the players from the above tier. Ideally, if you can go for a Thuram. But if your budget is low, you can go for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Moving to the next player. Koeman at 300 shards. He has good defending stats, but a lower 5'11" height. High attack and a high defense work rate. Does not have the power header trait. As CDM has his alternate position, but with a 3-star weak foot. He's pretty average in the game, and there are better centre-back options available. But if you're relatively new to the game, you could get him for 300 shots. But for most people, he should be avoided. His preference should be somewhere here. Depends on what position you want in your squad. Moving to the next player. Gabriel at 300 shots. Good defensive stats, along with good height and good physicality. He does have a power header trait as well, and a high defensive medium attack work rate. He's a quite good low budget card and performs quite well in the game. He wins the ball quite comfortably. But for most people, looking at the stage of game, you should avoid a 106. He would be an avoid, but higher up the order. Moving to the next player, Saka at 300 shards. Decent pace, good dribbling, a 4.5-star stamina and a 4-star skill move. Having a high attack and a medium defense work rate and finisher and flair traits. He's a very good right-wing option at this budget. What he lacks is the physicality and a 5'10" height, due to which he does tend to lose the ball. Has the alternate right mid position, so if you want to use him as a right mid in a head-to-head formation, you could use him. He runs well with heel-to-heel flick, so you can get him if you're relatively new to the game, but for most people, he should be avoided. He would be in the avoid section, but higher up the order. In my opinion, he would be the number 1 option. Moving to the next player, Matheus Cunha at 300 shards. Really good pace, good shooting and dribbling, which reflects in the game. A 6 feet height with a decent physicality, due to which he does not lose the ball easily. His pace is good. He can play in the cam position, but striker would be suitable for him. He has a flair trait and a high attack, high defense work rate. His positioning is quite good in the game. If you're looking for a striker and have a lower budget, you can get him. But for the most of the people, he should be avoided. But he would be higher up in the order. Striker is an important position and he is quite good. But at this stage of the game, there are better options available. Moving to the next player, Kerkez at 300 shards. Really good pace for a left back and decent stats throughout. Having a high attack and a medium defensive work rate. He has good positioning in the game, so even though the high attack work rate, he does maintain his defensive position. He plays quite well in the game and is quite effective in winning the ball. But there is Capdevila available in the League exchanges who performs a little better than him. He does have the 5-star stamina, but you could use these shards on another player. If you've packed him and need a left back, you could use him, but for most of them, he should be avoided. He would be in the avoid tier list. Moving to the next player, Grafenberg at 200 shards. He has decent stats throughout and a 6'3" height with 4-star stamina and a 4-star skill move and an alternate CDM position. With a medium attack and defense work rates and flair trait, 4-star weak foot. His height and physicality is very handy and does help to win the ball back and can be played in both the positions, CM and CDM. He does the job on the pitch. So if you're searching for a CM in the lower shard budget but are relatively new, you could use him. But for most of the players, he should be avoided to claim. He would be in the avoid tier list, probably below Vitina. You could refer this list and get the CMs or other positions that you require. Moving to the next player, McAllister at 200 shards. A 3-star weak foot and a 3-star skill move, and the stats also not great. There are better centre mid options who play better in game. He does have a long shot taker and a playmaker trait, but there are better options in the game to claim. He would be in the avoid tier list. So after the League 1 and the Premier League sections, this is what a tier list looks like. Gullet would be the number 1 option to buy or claim, followed by the rest. Similarly, this keep section is for the players that you should keep. The higher up they are in the order, the higher is their priority level. And if you're older in the game, the avoid section should be avoided or used for shards if you pack them. But if you're relatively new, you could use it as your priority list, in my opinion and experience. Moving to the Bundesliga. The first player in the Bundesliga, Lucio at 1500 shards. Super high defending stats with amazing physicality and a 6'2" height with very good pace. The best defender option available right now. He's one of my favorite cards in the game, and a medium high attack work rate and amazing traits like power header and dies into tackle traits, which is really good for a centre back. Without a doubt, he's the best centre back in the game right now, but 1500 shards are a little on a higher side. He can comfortably tackle and win the ball. His pace also allows him to fall back quite comfortably in the game, and it was very difficult for the opponent to get past him. He does not get skill stunned very easily. With players like Lit and Hornring available at 1500 shards, I think he's a little higher priced. But if you're looking for a centre back, he's the best option available. He will be in our buy tier list, probably before Isak. Moving to the next player, Beckenbauer at 1250 shards. He does have a good defensive stat, but a high attack and defense work rate. Not very ideal for a CDM. I found him quite aggressive as well, due to which the opponent gets past him quite comfortably. He does have the 4.5-star stamina and a 3-star skill move. He has an alternate centre-back position, but if you want a centre-back, there are better options available. If you'll pack him and you require a centre-back, you could play him there. 4-star weak foot is good for a CDM if he has to take shots, but his shooting isn't really good. At the moment, he did not impress me in his performance, but he could get buffed in the future. And at 1250 shards, I don't think he's a worth option to claim. But if you've packed him, you could definitely keep him and use him. He would be in our keep tier list, but I think Ramirez is better, so he would be after him. Moving to the next player, Ribery at 1250 shards. A very good option on the left wing position, amazing pace, very good dribbling and shooting. A 5-star weak foot really makes the difference. But the 4-star stamina and the low physicality along with the 5'7" height does make him lose the ball and requires an early substitution. But while he's there on the pitch, he is really good. He has an alternate cam and an LM position. He plays well even there, so you can play him even on those positions. And he has amazing dribbling and can get past his defenders quite comfortably with his skill moves. He also has the flair and the playmaker trait. The high attack and low defensive work rate is also good, due to which he stays up the field. But if you want someone to contribute in the defense, you'd want a medium defensive work rate. He runs really fast and through the opponent's defenders and has an amazing ball control in game, as the stats suggest. But if you're spending 1250 for him, you'd rather want to go for Henry, who is a better option in my opinion. Though Henry does not have a 5-star left foot, but his shooting is adequately good. But if for some reason you want to use the 250 shards elsewhere, you could definitely claim him. He would be in the buy tier list before Diaz, because I do feel he's better than Diaz on most aspects. But if you want someone who could just run very quickly, Diaz is your player, because in-game his pace is much better than Ribery. Moving to the next player, Davis at 1000 shards. Look at that pace, 132. It is as good as a left winger. And good defending stats, along with a 6'1" height and a 4.5-star stamina and a 4-star skill move. He does have a good dribbling as well. You can also play him on the left mid position, but the 3-star weak foot would not be ideal for a left mid. He doesn't have any particular traits like the dive and tackle, which we saw in his previous cards. But he does the job very well in winning the ball. He has an high attack and a high defensive work rate with quite good positioning in the game. But he is a 108 for 1,000 shards. There could be better higher OVR like Hernandez or someone in the upcoming weeks. So you all should wait. Currently he would be in the buy tier list, but it is subject to change according to the future players. Moving to the next player, Kane at 800 shards. I think he's quite high priced, especially when he does not have a 5-star weak foot anymore, with a lower pace of 110 and 4-star stamina. But the good things about this card are his shooting and dribbling. And the assigned skill move heel to heel flick is really effective. The other traits are also amazing, like the finesse shot, long shot, playmaker, power header if you're taking on corners, and he also has good passing. He has a high attack and a high defense work rate, and contributes in defending as well. But if you want a striker who just stays up front, you should not go for him because he does fall back. His finishing is really good, even with the 4-star weak foot. But with so many better striker options available, like Dalglish and Muller, which you can get it for free from the Ligue rewards, he would be in the keep category. If you pack him, you could use him if you don't have a striker, but otherwise, you should go for the other options available, which you could get in lesser price, like Dalglish for 650, Isak for 1000, Van Basten for 1250, and Muller from the League tokens if you have them. Moving to the next player, Wits at 650 shards. He is one of the best cam options available in the game right now, with good pace, passing, dribbling, and shooting, and a decent physicality along with a 5'10 height, a 4.5-star stamina, and a 4-star skill move. Having the finesse shot, flair, and playmaker traits along with outside foot shot, a high attack, and a medium defense work rate. He is pretty good in the game, and at 650 shards, he is a good option. But there could be better cams available in the future, with higher OVR as well, so he will be in our keep tier list after Rice. Moving to the next player, Kohler at 650 shards. Very good defending stats and a physicality with 6 feet 1 inch height. He also has the power header trait and a high defense, medium attack work rate, along with dives into tackle and power header traits, which is really good. He has strong marking and good tackling, as the stats suggest. His performance is quite decent in the game, but there are better centre-back options available, like Saliba, who you can go for unless for OVR. He would be in our keep tier list below Saliba. But if you want a higher OVR, you could go for him. But Saliba's performance is better in my opinion at the moment. Moving to the next player, Z Roberto at 650 shards. As an LM, 3-star right weak foot isn't good. He has an alternate left back and a CM position, but he doesn't have high defending stats, nor is he very good in the left back position in the game, but you can play him if you don't have anyone. He has good stamina, skill moves, and decent stats, but you want your LM or your CM to take shots, and he misses shots with his right 3-star weak foot. Though they are better at the moment, as time goes by, the 3-star weak foot will be more prominent, and you will miss more shots with it. He has a high attack work rate and a medium defense work rate. Another reason why he does not work at the left back position, having a flare trait and a sign lane chain skill move. Even if you pack him, you should avoid to waste your Mascherano's on him. He would be in the avoid tier list, probably here. Moving to the next player, Xavi Alonso at 500 shards. He has good passing and pretty average stats throughout, with a 4-star weak foot and a 3-star skill move, due to which he cannot perform the 4-star skill moves like the lane change. His pace and shooting is really bad in the game. His previous cards were much better, but this card feels a lot more heavier. He has the alternate CDM position, could play there, with a high attack and a high defense work rate. He has a dives into tackle trait as well, which suits the CDM position. He would also be helpful in attack with traits like playmaker and long shot tracker. He has an assigned heel to heel skill move, but it wasn't that impressive because he was losing the ball quite easily while performing it. If you pack him, you can keep him. Otherwise, Gerrard is a better option. He would be in the keep tier list, probably here. Moving to the next player, Ta at 450 shards. Very good defending stats with good physicality and height. He's not the quickest, but manages to fall back. A 4-star stamina with good marking and tackling stats, which reflects in the game. Due to his high physicality and strength, it's difficult to get past him for the attackers. He does not have the power header trait, but has a low attack and a medium defense work rate. His positioning is quite good in the game. He isn't the most agile. He would be in the keep category. Saliba is still a better option. Moving to the next player, Musiala at 450 shards. He has decent stats as a cam with a 4-star weak foot and a 4-star stamina. Long shot taker trait and a playmaker trait along with flair, which is quite useful, has a medium attack and a medium defense work rate. His finishing in game is quite good and he has decent dribbling, but he isn't the quickest with lower physicality. Width is a better option, but if you pack him and need a cam position, you can use him. He would be lower down in the keep order. Moving to the next player, Olise at 450 shards. One of the best players to claim at 450 shards budget, having a 5-star weak foot, very good pace and dribbling, along with decent physicality and passing. He does have a low physicality, but does not lose the ball easily. A 4-star stamina, so you would have to substitute earlier on, depending match to match. This card is also similar to the previous cards in performance. So if you have the previous cards, you don't need to upgrade to the newer one. The previous cards' performance have dipped at the moment, but sooner they will start performing better as well. He plays quite well on his alternate right mid and cam positions as well. So if you all require, you all can play him there. Having a medium attack and a medium defense work rate, but his positioning is really good, so I don't have to worry about the work rates. He also has good traits like the finesse shot, flair, and the playmaker traits, along with outside foot shot. His dribbling and agility is really outstanding, and when he performs a skill, the opponents get stunned quite comfortably due to his 6 feet height. And his finishing also good, and the 5-star weak foot helps in the same. Though his OVR is just 107, if you all cannot get a higher OVR right wing based on his performance, he will be in the buy tier list. Moving to the next player, Kimmich. At 450 shards, he does have good passing and dribbling stats, along with decent defending and pace. Having a 4-star weak foot is good in case you have to take some shots with the fullbacks. He has a high attack and a high defense work rate, and has a finesse shot, playmaker, and the long passer traits, with heel-to-heel flick being his assigned skill move. He's a very good right back option at this price point, who has good awareness in the game, and is better than Trent Alexander-Arnold in terms of defending. 4.5-star stamina is also quite good. He does have an alternate CDM position and plays quite well there as well. There would be better right back options. To buy or claim, you should look at higher OVR like Thuram, but if you've packed him, you can definitely use him. Or if you want a lower budget right back, you could get him. He will be above Trent Alexander-Arnold, as I think he's better than him in terms of defending. Moving to the next player, Upamecano at 300 shards. A 6 feet 1 height and very good defending and physical stats, which reflect in the game. He is quite good to use, but has a 4-star stamina and a medium attack and a medium defense work rate, which affects his positioning. If you're relatively new and pack him, you can use him. For most players, he should be avoided. But if you're relatively new to the game, you can use him only if you pack him. First to claim, Gabriel is a better option at the same price point. Moving to the next player, Girassi at 300 shards. He has good pace and shooting with 6 feet 2 height and a decent physicality, decent dribbling and average passing. 4-star stamina and 3-star skill moves is not ideal for a striker. Due to his high pace and agility in the game, he runs quite well. And if you use step over and exit, he does manage to run really quick. He does have the finesse shot and the power header trait with a high attack and a low defense work rate. He is quite decent to use in the game. Not amazing, but quite usable. So if you're relatively new and you have packed him, you could use him. But for most of the players, he should be avoided to claim. And as we discussed earlier, there are better strikers in different sections to claim. For most of us, he would be in the avoid section. Shevchenko or Akunha are better options to claim in the same shard budget. Moving to the next player, Zentner at 200 shards. He has good stats like reflexes and diving as well as handling. His performance in game is quite average, but similar to most goalkeepers, around the same OVR, bearing a few exceptions. He has a long throw rate, which is helpful in creating counter attacks. So if you're starting new, you could use him, but there would be more options in the upcoming weeks. So wait before you claim him. For most, he would be in the avoid tier. Moving to the next player, Eki TK at 200 shards. Very good pace and average overall stats and a 6'2 height, but he has a lot of drawbacks like the 3-star weak foot and a 3-star skill move, both of which is required for a striker. If you put him in the team, he won't last you for a long time. So on such players, you should avoid using your Mascherano's on. He would be in the avoid tier list. Moving to the next player, Orban at 200 shards. Good defending and physicality stats, but there are better centre-back options available at a similar budget. He does have a low attack work rate and a power headed rate. So if you're very new and have packed him, he is average to use in the game. But if you want to claim a better player, you should go for the better options in the list. He would be in the avoid tier list. If you want to claim, you could claim Gabriel, but not before all the players have released. And if you can, go for the players in the higher tier lists. Moving to the next player, Sheikh at 200 shards. Very unimpressive stats and in-game performance. And he should be avoided because striker is one of those positions which is very important in the game. Moving to the next player, Xhaka at 200 shards. If you've packed him, you can use him, but don't claim him. He does have good traits like the passing, shot taker, and dives into tackle with a finish shot rate, but has a 3-star weak foot and a medium attack work rate. But his performance is quite decent in the game, so you can use him, but a 106 won't last you long. There are better options. If you want to claim, you all should claim one of them. He would be in the avoid tier list. Aim for the players in the top tier list. At least try to claim one or two of them and then go to the lower tiers as per your shard count and coin count. Would soon be adding other league players to this tier list, so stay updated. I create FC mobile related content, so if that interests you, make sure to subscribe. These are some of the other videos you might be interested in.